Welcome back, everybody. I am here with JP. It is April 2nd of this recording, and we are doing our April Star Wars CCG Graded Facebook group update. So the one that everybody is eagerly anticipating for. So we have a few things to discuss today. We're going to talk about the contests, prize pools, Facebook update, PSA specials, my take on HGA, some card shows and LGS stuff going on, and then our personal updates. So let's kick it off with the contest for March, which was Jabba's Palace. Decent showing, would you say?
Yeah. Yeah, it was great. I mean, I wasn't expecting to see all the variety. I would thought it was going to be the same cards over and over, but everybody did a great job of showing their oddball cards.
Yeah, I think the exciting thing is like now it's matured a little bit. People have a bigger depth of, collectibles, right, to pull from. So I think as we go forward, we can kind of get more specialized and unique where we were not really willing to do that before to keep it accessible. So hopefully, that accessibility piece is still the same, even if the categories get a little stranger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so lowball, we only had one submitter for lowball, and y'all dropped the ball because JP submitted Jabba's Influence, PSA 10, and Sarlacc, PSA 10, first anthology, second anthology, respectively. He won the low ball because none of you else submitted it.
I left the door wide open. Anybody could have come in there with a 9.
Anybody could have taken that, but JP took it with 10s. That might be a first, hopefully only time that happens, a fluke. We want to see those weird low ball slabs. Okay, well, as riveting as that is, let's move on to unique. We had 2 submissions, technically 3, but Cam, I'm not counting you for this because you're a little greedy trying to submit twice. In second place, we're giving it to Taylor Armstrong, a PSA 9 sail barge, and an SGC 9.5 life debt. That is pretty random. I do not have those graded myself, so do you have those yet, JP? Maybe.
No, I might have a sail barge done in BGS. I don't know where it's at. But both of those, they're pop 1. So
yeah, that is obscure.
Yep.
And for most unique, we have Matt McLean, a PSA 5 Princess Leia Organa oversize and a PSA 5 Princess Leia Organa foil. That is random. I don't know if I could get a 5 if I tried. I feel like you're either going to get something really low or a little higher than that. So that's pretty weird. I don't know what the thought process was on that, but very interesting to say the least. Certainly unique.
Yep.
I don't think anybody has those exact cards in their collection besides Matt. So congrats on that. Okay, on to top pair. So we had a lot more submissions for that. Lots of 8s and 9s in there. And as interesting and as rewarding as some of those are, we have to go with the ones that are getting the top grades here. So in third place, gave it to Brian Emery with PSA 9, the Signal foil, which is a tournament foil, and Twi'lek Advisor tournament foil. So yeah, I'd say just because of the difficulty of grading 2 foils with that, I think that was worthy of third place. Second place, Dengar Enhanced PSA 10 and Lando with Vibro Axe BGS 9.5. So that earned me second place. And for top pair, Cam had a Princess Leia Organa foil PSA 10 and a Mara Jade Enhanced PSA 10. Both highly desirable cards. And because that Princess Leia Organa is a foil, that makes it extra impressive. So congrats, Cam, on that win and that super flex. Yes.
Yeah.
Any comments about those, JP?
Yeah, this was another month of just tough pairings. I mean, when we're kicking it around, it's tough. I mean, even the Dengar and Lando, I love the combination that you submitted. Yeah, that's how stiff it is. Everything is all Gem Mint 10s. They're all BGS 95s, so everything is way up there, and low population. So this is what we're having the competitions for, is to see everybody's collection and see what's out there, because this is the best way to showcase everything, and it was a really good competition this month.
Yeah, it was awesome. So now we are looking forward to April. So April's theme is Imperial Officers. So naturally, that's going to be a dark side card. We are looking for Imperial characters that have a military rank. So that is not inclusive of the Emperor or Darth Vader or Boba Fett or some random alien. That is specific to officers, lieutenants, sergeants, generals, majors, right? Military ranks, general, colonel,
Right.
those types. So the military uniform characters. Now, I will say there are some cards that have military, imperial military characters in them. Maybe they're like an effect or something like that. I will accept that if it involves an imperial officer.
Okay.
But yes, must be imperial officer. So looking forward to seeing what you guys have. I think this is an interesting category because it's probably not the showcase slab of your collection, but if you have them in that like second and third tier, there could be some really cool submissions in there. May, we have cards with lightsabers. June, we have rebel officers. And July, we have the lowball month. That'll be a single submission special that JP is pushing and very excited for.
Oh, man, I can't wait.
Don't be that guy who submits the 2 10s for your lowball category.
Yeah, and wins. Yeah.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah, don't be that guy.
So, in looking at the upcoming contests, I really want to put together like an ongoing prize pool. I don't know how long this will go, but we're thinking of something fun. So if you feel that you would like to contribute towards this in a small, medium, large way, it does not matter. For example, it could be anything Star Wars related. Maybe it's a pin, maybe it's a deck of cards from Topps, maybe it's an autograph, maybe it's a stack of extra foils or single cards that you're not going to grade because you already have them. For Star Wars CCG, any and all would be fun and welcome. I think the idea being if we have enough people that are willing to give a little, we can end up having some really cool prize categories. Could be sealed prize. It wouldn't matter. It doesn't have to be expensive. I think the point is just to make it a little more interesting and hopefully bring in the engagement piece. I am, as of right now, I'm willing to put off an auto card I have here of animated Princess Leia Organa towards the prize pool for the month of April. I know I have some other stacks of Japanese cards that are grade ready, as well as some other random foils and promos and stuff like that. So happy to contribute those to the prize pool. JP, do you have any thoughts on that?
No, this is a great opportunity. I think we're getting to the point now where there's enough interest. And if you've been trying to figure out if you want to be in the competition or not, maybe this is going to push you over the edge a little bit. But we're going to try to get some prizes going. And, my mind's just racing now with all kinds of different possibilities and some of the stuff that we can add for these categories. So it's going to be fun, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm even open to putting together like mystery packs and like putting a bunch of random cards together. I'm sure other people would be interested in helping out with that, just to drive the ongoing engagement here. So keep things interesting and exciting. So thank you. If you want to know more or want to contribute, you can reach out to myself or JP,
Yep.
And we can help coordinate that. Okay, Facebook group update. So lots of crazy stuff going on. JP, give us the lowdown on all the good and bad of what's going on.
Sure. So it's been super interesting. It's like every month it's something different. I was just talking to Kyle even just yesterday, before we were doing any ideas about the recording, is that within a 24-hour time span, we had 13 people, 13 new members join the group in the past 36 to 48 hours. And now it's up to 15. So there's even been a couple extra that have kicked in over the past day. 15 people in 36 hours is a lot. I mean, I did the math and it's only like 2 or 3%, but that's one of the largest single day memberships that we've ever had. I don't know what caused it. Usually I'm out in all the other groups and communities just kind of hanging back in the shadows. And when somebody says, hey, should I get this graded? Or they bring up something about graded, I'm right there to throw the group's link out there and just tell them, hey, come on over and check it out. And that usually gets a few people. But I haven't done that in just a few weeks. So I don't know what the cause is. But, hey, our group's growing. We're actually getting close to 750. So I think it was 745 or 746 this morning when I checked. But there's also that challenge that's in the feature. When we reach 800, there's going to be a reflection box opened. So
Manu's going to open a Reflections 2 box.
Yeah, so that's. I mean, what, he made that announcement like in February or January or something when we were around 699, and now we've just picked up 50 people this year.
Oh, so, it'll definitely hit. It'll literally hit probably some point in the summer, but
yeah, it's that'd be perfect timing. So so the summer's gonna be awesome. There's also been the new discounts too that's coming out for PSA. They're doing real good with the specials, and they've even dropped it another $1. So it went from $14.99 to $13.99 this month. So
$13.99. I literally just put together, I was saying offline, an order today of another 32 Star Wars CCG cards off to that special. Now keep in mind the value has to be estimated under $150 as opposed to $200, but that's fine because everything out of the Jedi packs, Rebel leaders, and other promo cards I'm submitting aren't worth that much. They're more just for a personal quest. But I did submit extras, so if I get an extra set, then I will probably list an entire set up for sale. Or maybe we'll use it as prize pool. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. So that is definitely awesome. I think it's also interesting to transitioning with, I don't mean to go too deep into this, but I need to put to bed the HGA stuff. And the reason I'm bringing this up on top of the piggybacking $13.99 specials, because HGA just has a little sale thing where they're really trying to push like, oh, look, I think they were saying $14 or $14.99. So I think this $13.99 somewhat matches or undercuts that like a tad. And I'm not saying they're competing head to head, right? I don't think that's the case at all. But I was trying to put together a non-Star Wars CCG custom orders for HGA, and the only reason I really wanted to use them was for their custom slab features. The subgrades, I think, made sense and were fine. And, if they wanted to get rid of 9.5, like, okay, that's not the end of the world. Getting rid of the subgrades, like, less desirable, not ideal, because now it screws up with, like, another collection I'm trying to put together that has subgrades. But now, instead of the $10 or $15 for a horizontal, you have to do a one-of-one custom order or nothing. It's like, or a predetermined made-up slab label that they have for $4. But that's all for baseball and football, and like they really have, or maybe Pokemon and stuff. But like, there's really nothing there for Star Wars, even though I've submitted countless Star Wars cards. Now, I've designed those a lot myself, and by design I mean like I made the orders and then they created them, and I've used some duplicates, but there's no feature to bring in like past orders you've done. Do you want to copy this slab label over? Now, I'm not saying they might not do that if I call them and harass them about it, but if they don't have like a $4 option or cheap option because I've already used the label and it doesn't require the manpower or brain power of a designer to design something, and they can't like load that on, then like I don't see why anybody would submit it. Now, they do have a new like blank standard label that HGA put out, but again, it's at $14, and it's like if you could go with PSA or an HGA non-custom label with no subgrades, like, why would you submit to them? Like they're not known as a company that, is known for their resale value. Their target customer is the collector. They want to send it to the end user or the person who's going to sell to the end user, per their words, not mine. So they're, in a way, they're kind of like not competing, but it's like at that point, like, you might as well make a label for $5, because I don't even know if there's a lot of appeal to that. And there's a lot of uproar in the group about the subgrades, the custom label stuff, the pricing. It's like none of this made sense. They masked it as a, by the fans for the fans kind of thing. But this is clearly a business decision, because all the polling that was done around, like, clearly was not in favor of these ideas. Now, I get from a business standpoint, you might say to yourself, well, doing custom labels for $10 is not generating the, profit or whatever of what we want or target we think these are at. But at the same time, most of the custom labels, at least a lot of custom labels that I've seen for cards, don't justify $100 to spend slabbing it and getting a custom label. Like, a lot of the cards that I want custom labeled are not really worth that much. Like, some are. So, don't get me wrong. Like, I did my tournament foil custom right there. That's an expensive card. I've done like some high profile autos with there that are a few $100s. Like, maybe, but like, if I were to grade that, of something high profile and not go custom, then it's like, why wouldn't you just put it in a BGS or a PSA or something that's like stronger, recognized in the community? So I really don't know what they're doing or thinking, but even as a VIP or platinum member, whatever you want to call it, or they keep changing it, right? It doesn't give you the cost savings that would make sense for it. So like, how am I supposed to send in bulk, like, the next order of stuff? I'm not paying $100 a card to custom label. It's not worth it. So now I have to reimagine my collection, my personal collection of like some of the non-Star Wars CCG stuff, of like, well, do I now just default to another graded company, or do I just not grade them at all? Because they're really not, like, I don't think it really changes the value of it. It's more of like a personal quest. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, this card, you can't really see it, but it's like a manga card, right? I mean, it looks really cool. I would love to see that in custom slab label, but I'm not going to pay $100 for a card that's maybe worth $5. Like, that would just be more of a curiosity. So I don't know where that's going. I hope they're hearing it out, but it doesn't seem too optimistic. I still have my membership for now, but if it doesn't change, I don't see why I would want to keep it, because I'm not sending Star Wars CCG cards there. There's no recognition for it, but if I were, I would send it for a custom label. So I don't know where that's going. I know people have been curious on my take on that. I did manage to squeeze in 2 orders right before they had cut that, so I was wrong in thinking that as a VIP member, I didn't pay the $75. I just got lucky, and maybe they missed me or something. So I'm glad I got those orders in before I did, but I am sad that is gone, because we did not ask for any changes in the community. I was happy to tolerate where it was at. So, yeah, I mean, so that's where I stand with that. I think I'm switching gears more onto, my other thing is, if I'm not going custom label and doing something cool, then I might as well try and compete on like a registry set. So the PSA registry set is really appealing to me because it drew me in with currency as well. And I ended up spending way more on that because I wanted to compete in the registry. So between this contest, partly, but the registry sets, I want to see more engagement with that. If BGS had an active one there too, I would strongly consider a category in there too. But that is definitely a driving factor of my collecting with this. So I think I've said my piece. I'm not going to keep ranting on it, but that is where I stand. I'm sorry to see where HG has gone. I hope they make corrections, but if they don't, that is where I stand.
Well, we'll kind of see, because they can change their business plan at any time. I know there was the BGS scare for years and years. I was getting the big fat slab that they have, and then they made the announcements that were going to the slim profile, slim format, and I just like, they can't do that to me. My whole master collection is going to be BGS, and I've already got a set or two that's already in the fat slabs, but they back down from that, and they are not going to the slim line. And they do. BGS does have all the set registries. They don't award you. The gentleman that I had as my account manager,
cool.
he made claims that if you're number one in the set, you get discounts with your submissions. And there was.
Are you number one in these sets? I don't remember seeing this. I'll have to go back and check.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've got emails. I mean, we used to call him BGS Allen, and I know Cam and I had him at the same time. So that's how I had, I've had 500-600 cards graded from them, mostly sets. And, at the time I was getting them for $6 and $8. And I thought, this is all I got to do for the rest of my career is just, but then all of a sudden everybody wakes up and it's like, wait a minute, we can't just, let you grade cards for $6 per bulk. So that's when things changed in the industry. And I started focusing some of the extra stuff from my collection over to PSA because of the set registries. And I thought, let's have some friendly competitions. And, right now I think I'm in 3 or 4 different sets. This card here for the Japanese New Hope, that's in it. I think I'm number one with only 10 or 20 cards from the set. And,
okay.
Tournament foils. And I just sent off like 20 or 22 more cards from that set. And it's funny because now it's like I've just done all the uncommons. Now all I got left is the commons to grade the set. So
yeah. I know it's like you want to send in a bunch, but you also don't, because if you get it like a good grade like once or twice, you're like, I'm done. Like I don't have to do it again. Like, so you don't want to like send in like lots of them. You're just overpaying for it.
It's been a nightmare. And it's funny because when I was doing the Premier set through BGS, and that's the USA American one, I kept having the same 5 cards, problems with it. I mean, I'd send those suckers off in like 5 or 10 lots. And I thought, man, if I send off, 20 Luke's land speeders, eventually one of them's got to come back a 9 or better. And there's a 7, 6, 7, 7, 8, 7. I'm like, what is going on? This card just can't be graded right.
That's right. Luke's land speeder, right? The X30.
Yeah, I've only got 1 9. And, the whole set together averages 9.13. So everything's a 9 or a 9.5 in that set. And I had more trouble with Banis Keeg, common, and the Luke's land speeder, which
Are
is
they
not
on the
common.
Corners of the sheets. Maybe Luke could tell us more about
Well,
those. Those are in bad spots.
I just went to a tournament Thursday, and it ended up going over the weekend. I didn't compete in it. I'd gotten sick, but I wasn't planning on playing anyway because there's a bunch of new players, and I want them to compete and enjoy the game. And I'll talk about that here in a little bit. But they were giving away packs and starter decks and people opening it up. And so I started talking about the group and talking about how difficult some things are to grade. And I says, Luke's land speeder is one of the problems. I said, there's a roller line, some kind of a line that runs north to south or east to west. And he goes, hey, I just opened one up. He goes, let's take a look. Sure enough, we bounced it off the light. They were blown away by that fact that all these land speeders had that roller line that goes right across the front of it. And I'm like, that's the big problem. So I'm having troubles with the U3PO. I've sent 3 in now. Oh, my gosh.
That's a tough card to grade. That card just doesn't matter if it's foil, non-foil, white, black border. That one rarely grades well.
And that one, that's literally, you have to pay between $50 and $80 just to find the card to even see if it's worth sending in. And I'm on my last one. I just sent in my last one. If this comes back, like, I'm hoping an 8 or better, but man, I've gotten 5 and a 6, I think. And I'm like, what is wrong with this card? It's not, I'm pretty good at inspecting cards, and those last 2 are like, they're not 5, but I'm not the expert. I'm just
I think I have I own a U3PO foil 8, not the regular one, but if I when I open my Premier black border stuff, if I pull one, I will grade one. See what happens. Maybe we bring back the pack to grade challenge again soon. Getting a little heavy on the loose packs here. Been just kind of hoarding for a rainy day, and I don't know. I just didn't feel the right occasion to open it.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's
good.
Your hobby. That's what collecting's all about. You decide what to grade, what to collect. So, and I know there's 2 or 3 people out there that I'm seeing their submissions going up for the Japanese New Hope, and so they're catching up to me in the set registry. I even think Cam, he's going to start sending stuff off, and if you've got a better U3PO, that's going to put you ahead of me with ease. So it's one card makes one step ahead. So
yeah, I mean, a New Hope Japanese, it seems like there's plentiful product, and it's a smaller set, right? There's 100 and how many cards are in
180.
it? 180.
Oh, 196. Is that the 196 or the
Definitely won something, but
180? Yeah, I
my
think
point
180
versus the like 324 Premier. That's like a little easier pill to swallow. It's still a lot of cards, but it's a little.
Easier. I've got my sheet right here. Oh, that's crazy. Everything I've got. This is everything slated. I mean, that's the PDF. So this is everything slated, already been inspected for all the expansions for my collection. So I know.
What am I looking at checklists? Have you checked those off? Is that one?
Yeah. Well, what I've done is this is the original sheet. If you can see the format,
it comes and goes. Yeah.
Yeah, it comes.
Yeah, I do.
Anyway,
I do remember that because that's the sheet I used when I was checking off my master list of whether I had every single card.
Yeah.
So yes, I am familiar with that. It's like what 11 pages or something. It's like 10 pages or 11 pages.
Oh no, this is like 40 pages. I thought maybe it's more. There's 162 cards in that set.
162. Okay, yeah, that's like half of.
Yeah, easy. Well, we'll see.
Yeah. So very different. Cool. Okay, so let's switch gears. We were talking before offline, and you mentioned that there's some upcoming card shows in Springfield, as well as local game store that was also doing tournaments. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So I want to try to get more presence here locally. Springfield's not a small town. And it draws in a lot of people from all the different areas, and it's perfectly positioned geographically in the Midwest. So there are 3 or 4 shows that's going to be going down in the next month or 2 or 3 months. And I have been trying to make contact at this one location. I have been making phone calls, leaving messages, leaving emails, and just trying to get a table in there. But I think by having a few different locations and trying to get it like months ahead of time, I'm going to try to set up vendor tables that just has Star Wars CCG graded cards on it. This way we can just kind of run a presence. I've already been looking at those table, those little small cabinets that you can put cards in, just as you see at a regular sports card show. And, if you go to gaming shows. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to keep you guys posted on starting to put presents out on the tables and see how we fathom at the card shows. But that'll be going over the next few months.
Yeah, for anybody who's out in the Midwest, they might be interested in that. So maybe a quick trip away.
I always run into people, and they're like repeat people. I mean, they're acquaintances of mine, and I see them. They're from St. Louis and Kansas City and from Arkansas. Mm-hmm. So people come in from all around to Springfield to some of the shows and to some of the competitions. But I want to give a shout out. You did mention that there's an LGS here locally that just kind of opened up and started with the Star Wars tours. And the name of the business is called Nowhere. And I want to give a shout out to that store.
Is it spelled weird? Is it?
No, it's spelled that way, and it's actual name.
Because I know sometimes these stores like play around with the language a little bit.
Yeah, it's just Nowhere.
Okay.
Nowhere, store of forgotten lore, and so they just go by Nowhere. As far as I know, I've only been there once.
Okay.
But I've been following them over the past few weeks, and they've got all kinds of competitions. They've got some Lorcana and a few other things, Star Trek they had. So, but the Star Wars CCG is what caught my attention, and the person that was coordinating it is somebody. His name's David Stanfield. I just saw a post on him from the regular Star Wars CCG group, and I've known that guy 20, 30 years since we started playing together back in 1995 and 96 when all this first hit. So he's a great guy. He's coordinating it. He was giving out prizes on the first time. I mean, sealed boosters.
Wow.
And sealed booster boxes. And then everybody, whoever showed up, and he put on a training session with his own cards. He built decks and let everybody learn on the 2-player introductory, and people were picking it up quickly. I got to meet a bunch of new members, and I played a few rounds and kind of helped people, understand the rules and the flow of the game and understand your resources, your force piles, and all that. And so this is going to be a really good opportunity and everybody gets to playing and they gain interest to start introducing also the graded piece to it too. That, it's a great game. It's great to collect. It's awesome artwork. It's Star Wars. And also there's another piece to it where you can also have a nice investment in it. So it's all just falls together, all in the same group. And just want to say, hey, good job to Nowhere and David Stanfield for all your hard work. And I might even try, I think it was your suggestion, to reach out to Matt and see if they could do some kind of a stream about what they're trying to accomplish over there.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think it would be wise to reach out to Matt. He tends to plug into the LGS and players, communities, and experts in that field. That's his wheelhouse. So yeah, if he's listening to this, he should reach out to you.
He never watches our stuff. All I do is watch his stuff. He never watches our stuff.
I'm getting that vibe too. I asked him about like a video that was posted on mine. He was like, huh? What video? I was like, nah. He's like, I don't know. Show me. I'm like, it's like, I don't think you've seen anything I've posted.
We love Matt.
Cool,
Matt's
man.
He does a great job.
That's cool. We'll support you and your fame.
We do.
We'll just kind of watch in the shadows as you rise.
Look at all the people that support this community and keep track. I mean, you've got your Lukes and Marks and Andys and Gregs and you. So there's so many people that have so many different angles to kind of see the trends and know what's going on. I had no idea that the group would turn into this. I mean, just the crazy major auctions and sales we just recently had. I mean, they all broke records and they're just way off the charts. There's just like no end to where this is heading and its growth. So, man, you guys are all involved in this. Thanks for getting to where it's going, and it's only getting better every day. So,
yeah, everybody contributes a little, then all of a sudden we have a lot. For sure, I consider myself a very small piece of this, but I do want to kind of plug a little bit with if you want to have a chat or discuss graded cards with myself, Mark, or like I did with Sergey, right? Like Cam, we've talked with other members around the community as well. I am open to doing that. I did have that Star Wars collector spotlight thing going for a while, but it was really difficult coordinating with people who are very flaky. So I haven't put that much effort into it, but if you would like to discuss your collection, your niche, your love of Star Wars, and go through my questionnaire and share what you have, I am happy to do that. But I am not going to bend over backwards and hunt you down if you need to reschedule 100 times. So it's not that important. But if you want to and you want to share it, absolutely reach out to me. Let's make it happen. And other than that, personal updates on your collecting. I know you still have your stuff in storage or moving stuff, right? So your stuff's kind of all over the place, right?
Yeah, it'll probably be for several months. I just have certain things that accidentally were left out, like this the New Hope Japanese set, which it's funny, I don't even consider the Japanese stuff part of the master collection. And I'm going to send it off to PSA and get the whole thing graded and then stick it in a registry and just compete with everybody. And if I'm not, I don't care if I'm top 3, top 10, whatever. It's just been fun doing it. I can't wait till, my life's in a position where I'm moved into where I'm going to eventually be living and have my, I'm going to have like a man cave room that's all Star Wars CCG and just live the life of just sitting around looking at cards all day. It's everybody's dream, I guess. So that's where I'm at.
That'll be fun. I look forward to seeing what you got or / maybe competing with you on the Japanese premiere when that eventually drops. I'm still waiting for another like 80 or something Star Wars CCG graded cards to come back. PSA is taking their sweet time with one of my orders. Even though my Lorcana orders come back really quickly, those take a long time. Mm-hmm. What I'm focusing on right now, I want to get a few more of the Han and Leia enhanced premiere. I'm always looking for more first anthology cards without having to open a box. Like I have some, but I'm looking for some better condition ones. So that is what it is. I'm still pretty good on the second and third anthology stuff. I will probably switch gears to submitting more Japanese, but Premier, but also some of the official tournament sealed deck promo cards. So I have some stacks of those. I'd like to get a set for that done in 9s and 10s. So that's what's next on my list. Other than that, yeah, just sitting around and waiting for these grading companies to do their thing.
Yep. Well, they're still running because people have been asking, what's their run times right now, and they're still at that TCG non-sports discount one. It's still a 60-day, could run 70 to 80 days as well. Because don't forget, we're such a small little part of sending in TCGs that everybody's turning in Magic and Pokemon, and that's still a huge
Digimon. The list goes on. Magic, like you were saying. Star Wars Unlimited now is kind of taken storm. So I expect a lot of people to submit those now, especially those showcase foils, which some of those are pretty cool. I will admit I have pulled the trigger on Star Wars Unlimited, so I have played that. I did buy some bulk boxes, but that's for another video. But yeah, otherwise, looking forward to the contests for this upcoming month. And again, if you have something you would like to contribute, whether that's towards the prize pools or would like to be on a chat or Star Wars Collector Spotlight, please reach out to myself. I would love to do that. So
great.
Thank you, JP. See you on the next one.
All right, Kyle. Bye.